De-escalation file loading.
Spring of 2020, I was at Dobbins Air Reserve Base. Was called over to joint operations with the Air Force. We would track numbers for the amount of soldiers stationed at each location. So whenever the National Guard is mobilized, it's like a deployment, but it's within the state. Units specialize in like hazmat. They are equipped to deal with situations like airborne illnesses. They have hazmat suits and equipment, and we keep track of those supplies that they have on hand. They're able to sanitize like nursing homes, hospitals, any area that's like high traffic area. COVID for elderly during the time before we had any medication or anything for COVID was fatal. With that in mind, you're considering losing lives. Also with our numbers, having soldiers out there, we want to make sure that we're not losing anyone, we're not leaving anyone behind, and they have things that protect them. And without the right numbers, we may not have enough, and then you have people on site that cannot protect themselves.
Confrontation can be hard. It is easy to avoid having a difficult conversation, especially knowing it is likely to lead to an escalated situation. When determining whether to engage in confrontation, it is important to remember what is at stake if you fail to have the difficult conversation. This is particularly true if the safety of others is at risk. Safety should always be more important than avoiding the discomfort of confrontation.
Let's call you a cab. You are in no shape to drive.
I had a friend of mine who was also a coworker. She was dropping the ball, not meeting expectations. She was not communicating well and putting others at risk. I could empathize with her a lot because I was in the same situation, and I know that there were times where I was frustrated and I didn't want to be there. And it's okay. All of those things are okay, we're human, but at the end of the day, we had a job to do. That's what we signed up to do, and we had to set our personal feelings aside. I had to prepare myself going in, like knowing my weaknesses, knowing my strengths, and knowing her personality. I was expecting her to not take it well, and so I decided to take a coworker in with me. We decided to go into a conference room, just us three privately, and say, hey, this is what's been disclosed to us. This is what we want to discuss with you.
Neuroscientific research shows that the human brain perceives certain social needs to be as important as physical needs, like food or water. Dr. David Rock has summarized those social needs into 5 categories, known as the SCARF model of threats and rewards. The SCARF acronym stands for status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, and fairness. If a person perceives a threat to any of these social needs, an escalated emotional response can be rapidly triggered. You can use this model to anticipate what conversations may cause stronger reactions and plan accordingly. Or, you can use these as a tool to disarm and de-escalate.
I know this conversation is hard because your job is important to you. But I want you to know that I respect you. And I am here to help you. You have all the tools you need to make the changes I'm asking. And I will give you a fair chance to make those changes.
Immediately, she broke down into tears. So I was glad that I had someone there to support me. We decided that what was best for her at the time is to leave the JOC operations and go back to her full-time functions so that she can continue to maintain her workload. As difficult and hard as that may be, you have to as far as preparing myself beforehand, realizing that this is to benefit her, and this is growth and development is uncomfortable.
De-escalation complete.